Hi, welcome to Ken's Corner. If you are a parent of a public school student in New York City, you can vote and help influence policies in the New York City public school system. Please register to vote or contact your school's parent coordinator for assistance. I posted the link below. I'm Ken Mark. I am running for Education Council in the New York City Department of Education. My credentials include 35 years of experience working in the DOE. I started out as a classroom teacher. I taught both general education and special education students and later trained new teachers as a staff developer. When I achieved my degree in school psychology from Fordham University, I became a school psychologist for 14 years and trained new psychologists in the Psychologist in Training program, or PIT. My specialty was in prevention, where I chaired the Pupil Personnel Committee and helped to reduce the number of special education cases. I accomplished this by increasing services in the general education camp, such as providing preventive counseling, implementing peer tutoring, gave staff training on positive behavioral strategies, and others. I even wrote the manual for the pupil personnel team in District 1. After being recognized for my work by the Regional Administrator of Special Education, or RAISY at the time, she recruited me to be an educational administrator in charge of special education. In this position, I became responsible for special education services in Manhattan. I opened up special programs in schools, helped resolve issues with principals, and expedited placements of special needs students in their respective programs. As an administrator, I also helped supervise both the Manhattan North and South offices, and I helped train the new administrators of special education, or AZs. I remained in that position for the last 15 years until I retired in 2019. I know the regulations, policies, and inner workings of the DOE. Most of the policies are great and helpful to parents and students. However, there are some which I disagree with because they hurt students more than help them. When I started working at the DOE, my purpose was to help and serve parents and their children. As time went by, some of the policies changed, and some of these policies actually hurt students more than helped them. Segregation of information is one example. For instance, the enrollment office are no longer allowed to provide information related to special education. Parents are simply told to go to your school for this information and for assistance. My opinion is that all DOE staff should be free to disseminate information if they have it and allowed to help support our families and students without fear of reprimands. As an administrator, I was charged with the responsibility to uphold this particular policy. Unfortunately, I could not support a policy that hurt students. I recall a day in the middle of July. A family came to my office for help. They were recent arrivals from the Dominican Republic and had a translator with them. I noticed that they had a 12-year-old son in a wheelchair and he was drooling. They requested special services for their son, and I was reminded by my director of the DOE policy. Her voice echoed in my mind. Send them home. Have them go to the school for services. Go see the next family. Well, I could not follow this directive. I sat the family down, made contacts with a summer procession team, arranged for an evaluation, and within 3 weeks, this student received placement in a citywide program with busing and schooling over the remaining weeks in August. If I had followed the directive, this student would have had to wait till September to get an evaluation and then wait another month or two before receiving services. And yes, I was written up for this infraction. I'd rather deal with write-ups or stain on my record than to see a student go unserved and suffer. This is who I am. As a parent of 3 boys, all of which attended public schools, I am one of you, and I want to be your voice in the DOE. If elected as a council member, I will work to encourage the DOE to treat students as though they are their own children. Voting starts May 1st through May 11, 2021. Please vote for a candidate of your choice so that your voice will be heard. Thank you for listening.